What's up YouTube, Axel here. I'm hoping to help everybody out with a complete beginner XM4 class idea. Black Ops Cold War just came out yesterday, and to help out I want to show you how to create a class that will carry you throughout the early ranks. Now it's not meant to be the best class ever, but it will make sure you're competitive. So when you're rank 1, you're gonna have the default classes. Now out of those default classes, the best one is the default class number 1. You'll be able to create a class at level 4. Once you're level 4, you'll have the option between the XM4 assault rifle and the MP5 submachine gun. So here's the XM4 and then here's the MP5. Which one you choose will really depend on your playstyle. Now I chose the XM4, so that's the gun which I'll be using for this. This is what I'll be using to show you my favorite early attachments and attachment evolution. So at weapon level 0, you're gonna have nothing, right? But you're gonna use it and attach the millstop reflex sight as quickly as possible once you reach level 2. Stick with that sight until you get the microflex LED sight at weapon level 32, which is going to take a little bit. So for the muzzle, you're gonna start out with a muzzle brake 5.56 here, since it's gonna decrease your vertical recoil until you're able to get the suppressor at weapon level 20. At which point you're gonna attach the suppressor, and that's gonna take you off the radar because who wants to be on the radar? So for the barrel and the body, we're really gonna use nothing. If you want, I mean, you'll be unlocking some of these things, but we're gonna switch them out as soon as we get the underbarrel, the magazine, and the handle. So for the underbarrel, we're gonna attach a foregrip, because that's going to help with the horizontal recoil control, because horizontal recoil is a lot harder to control than the vertical recoil. So after the underbarrel, we're gonna get magazine. At the beginning, we're gonna be getting the 40 round mags, but once you reach weapon level, what was it, 25, you're gonna attach the 40 round speed mag. This is just like the 40 round, but it's quicker. Now it's gonna have a minus 20% aim down sight time. It's going to hurt a little bit, but we're gonna make up for it later on. So for the handle, we're gonna use a speed tape. This is what I like using. This will help mitigate some of that minus aim down sight time that we got for the magazine. I really use it because aim down sight time plus 10%, which is good. Then for the stock, we're going to use nothing. You do have the option, if you really don't care for having a sight, if you want to use iron sights, you could use this wire stock here and replace the sight for the stock. But I'm not a fan of that because the iron sights in the XM4 are not that great, so I really need a sight for it. But it's up to you. Now as far as the rest of the class, for your secondary, we're gonna use a 1911 pistol. Honestly, I think it's a sleeper. It's just too good. Now, at the beginning, you're gonna use a stun grenade until you reach rank 6, at which you get the stim shot. Now, the stim shot, it's going to save your life more than you're going to get stun kills. For the lethal, I like using the frags, and I still do, even after I unlock the Semtex. Then, for the field upgrade, we're gonna use the field mic. It's gonna help us out, highlighting the enemies on my minimap. This is especially good in objective-based game modes, but it's good in just about every game mode. Now for the perks, we really don't get that many options early on, so we're going to be forced to use the engineer perk, because you won't have paranoia, you won't have flak jacket. So we're going to be using the engineer until we get flak jacket. This is gonna help against explosives and molotovs. Oh, and the combat bow. I actually didn't know that one. We're going to ignore the paranoia, unless you really, really enjoy hearing a high-pitched ringing right before you die. So then for the second perk, we're going to be using Assassin, because we really don't get anything else until much later on. Then once you get Scavenger, switch out Assassin for Scavenger. And once you get Quartermaster, you can really take your choice if you want to use Scavenger or if you want to use Quartermaster. I will probably be using Scavenger. Now for the third perk, we're kind of forced to use gung-ho for a while until you reach Ghost. But once you do, once you get Ghost, use it. It's one of the best perks in the game. Later on, we will get Ninja at level 38, but it's really up to you. It depends what you want to do. Maybe you don't want your footsteps to show up and you don't want to show up on somebody else's field mic. I will probably have both Ghost and Ninja using a wild card. And speaking of wild cards, at level 12, we're going to get our first wild card, which is Danger Close. This lets you equip an extra lethal and a tactical thrown equipment, so things like a stun grenade. And you're going to be able to start out with additional ammo. And with this, we have a pretty well balanced early start class. Now, this is the complete beginner XM4 upgrade path that will allow you to use the gun enough to learn its strength, weaknesses, and it'll set you up well until you get a better understanding of what attachments you really want to put on it later down the line when everything is unlocked for the XM4. So you'll be off to a great start. This is what I'm using. I'm going to test out the MP5 next. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one.